So here we go. This is Project ERA, and it is, what day is it? I think it's the 28th of October, and we're about to start it. So it's a winter project. Hopefully be done, ready in time for the show season. As you can see, it's got a nice private plate on it. This is Mark's ERA. It's known as Phil. And it's already pretty clean, but it just wants tidying up. So it's going to get a full nut and bolt restoration.
Okay, and just a timely reminder, thanks for viewing, and if you're not a subscriber, please do consider subscribing. This is one winter project that's going on this year, and I also have Project Sprout on my other videos and back catalogue of previous projects. So like I say, please give it a like, please consider subscribing to keep up to date with the build as we go through the process. So I thought I'd give a little bit more information about this red ERA. So it's a UK specification ERA. It's number 51 of the 99 UK ERAs that were built, and they were built in 1989 and 1990 only, so commonly sort of on an F or a G plate on the UK registration, and they were built as kind of the 80s replacement for the Mini Cooper S. So it was a very high spec Mini at the time. In fact, it's probably the highest spec Mini to have ever been officially sort of endorsed and sold through Rover dealerships. It's certainly the most powerful Mini. So it boasted a 1275 turbocharged A-series engine, which was came from Metro Turbo, as did a lot of the other running gear on the car. And in standard spec, this Mini boosted to 94 brake horsepower and had a very usable 118 Newton meters of torque at 3,600 RPM. So it was the fastest production Mini ever made that was endorsed and sold through the Rover dealerships, and it really is a pleasure to drive. It's really high specification. So ERA in Dunstable are the company that converted these Minis, so they rolled off the end of the production line as standard cars, and then ERA took them away on a trailer and they converted them to ERA Minis, and when they were done they had a 0 to 60 time of 7.8 seconds, which was quite sprightly, quite quick at the time. Certainly it competed very well against the likes of Golf GTIs and the other sort of hot hatch GT cars of the time, but it did come at a price. A standard ERA, you would have only got a few pounds change out of £12,000, and if you decided to have it in a non-standard colour like black and you wanted full leather, it was approaching £13,000. It wasn't just an upgrade on power, there was lots of other changes as well. And like I say, an ERA Turbo is a really nice car to drive. It's really refined compared to a standard Mini, so there's a lot of additional soundproofing on the car. The interior carpets and trim were all custom made. The body kit which you see on the car, which is really sort of 80s looking, it's a bit Marmite. Some people love it, some people can't stand it, but it was a quality build, custom built by Dennis Adams, who formerly of Marcus Sports Cars, so made in fiberglass. And other sort of notable changes, it had a lot of the running gear that come kind of from the Rover parts bin, so Metro Turbo running gear. It had 13-inch wheels, 4-pot AP brake calipers. Yeah, and it really was a special Mini. I'm fortunate enough to own a I've owned a couple of them over the years, a black one and a green one, and they are very, very rare. Like I say, only 99 UK cars ever built, and it's hard to know exactly how many of them are still in existence. There were 337 Japanese spec cars, but these are obviously not quite as rare, although they are just as special. And a few sort of notable differences with the Japanese spec cars is they don't have a sunroof. They have a wider body kit on them to accommodate the wheels when turning, and they also have air conditioning as well. So this ERA, like I say, they're all special, they're all very rare cars. This one in particular, obviously owned by Mark now, but it's only had one former keeper. So one keeper had it from new up until last year, 2018, and this ERA has done 262,000 miles, which is impressive for any car, but for a Mini that is just amazing. But I'm glad to say it has been extremely well looked after over those years, and it still retains most, if not all, of its original features. Obviously it's been restored and it's had various engine rebuilds done on it over the years, but it is still a very original car. It was last restored in 2012, and obviously it's undergoing a full nut and bolt restoration now. So as you'll see as we go through this build, the shell, the car itself, is not in bad condition. So compared to what some Minis of this era are like, it's pretty solid, to be honest, and that's just really just because it's been very well looked after over the years. But Mark, the owner, is looking for an almost concourse car, I guess. I think he's going to make some tasteful sort of modifications during this rebuild, just some sensible modifications like fitting a stainless steel exhaust so it doesn't corrode, quite possibly a heated front windscreen, which is very discreet but is very practical, especially with mini heaters. But aside from that, Mark just wants a car as good as it can be. So that's the purpose of this. So at the moment, aided by a fellow YouTuber there, Paul Jeffries. If you get a moment, pop over and check out his channel. He popped down actually for the weekend because he had never worked on an ERE before and really fancied the opportunity at getting involved. So Mark kindly come down over the weekend and helped us strip it back to a bare shell. So as you can see, all three of us are working on the car at the moment, and the next step is to send the body off for sandblasting, just to strip all the paint back, just make sure there's no body filler in it, and it will highlight any areas that need a bit of attention before repainting the car. So in total, stripping the car back to a bare shell, and by bare I mean completely bare, so even things like body bungs, fuel lines, brake pipes, trim, the whole lot has to come out before sandblasting. And between the three of us, we've done this over last weekend, and it took us in total, I think, just over 7 hours. So quite remarkable for an ERA as well, because there's quite a lot of extra equipment on an ERA. So anyway, that's enough of an introduction for the car. I will be videoing this build series as we go through and trying to keep you updated on everything we do to the car. So like I say, please consider subscribing, and I will sit back now like you and enjoy watching the video. So thanks for tuning in.